Consumer Reports just dropped its 2026 SUV scores, and 9 landed so low you need to see this before you buy. The worst? A 14 out of 100. Not a salesman's opinion. Real owners, real problems, real repair bills. After 23 years on the tools, here are the SUVs to walk away from. And number 1 is one people are lining up to buy right now. Number 9, the 2026 Ford Explorer. We're starting the list at a 30 out of 100, and that should tell you how rough this group is, because a 30 is the good news today. The Explorer is one of the best-selling 3-row SUVs in America, which is exactly what makes this dangerous. Millions of families buy it on the name alone. The trouble is the technology stack. The infotainment, the electronics, and the turbocharged engines have generated complaint after complaint. When a modern SUV fails now, it's rarely the block or the transmission. It's the screen, the sensors, and the software. And those are miserable and expensive to chase down. Often a bigger bill than an engine repair ever was. A familiar badge is not the same thing as a reliable vehicle, and this is proof. A name your parents trusted and a score you can't. Number 8, the 2026 Audi Q4 e-tron. Here's your first warning about a pattern you're going to see over and over on this list. The Q4 e-tron scored 27 out of 100, and it introduces the theme that defines this entire countdown. Electric luxury is where reliability goes to struggle. You're stacking 2 hard problems on top of each other: brand new EV technology and the notorious complexity of a European luxury car. Owners report software glitches, charging faults, and electrical gremlins that leave them stranded in ways a simple gas car never would. And dealers often can't diagnose them quickly either. It's beautiful, it's quick, it's badged Audi. And the data says the ownership experience is a headache. With dealer trips, a simple gas SUV would never trigger. Remember that combination because it comes back. Number 7, the 2026 Honda Prologue. This one genuinely stings to say, because Honda has spent decades earning its bulletproof reputation. But the Prologue scored just 25 out of 100. And here's the catch most buyers don't know. The Prologue isn't really a Honda underneath. It's built on General Motors' Ultium EV platform, so you're getting a Honda badge on largely GM electric architecture. That's the danger of assuming a trusted brand automatically means a trusted vehicle. A logo does not guarantee the engineering beneath it, and the reliability data on this one simply does not live up to the reputation of the name on the tailgate. Buyer beware, even when the badge is one you'd normally trust with your eyes closed. Number 6, the 2026 Genesis GV60. Genesis has been the darling of the car world lately. Gorgeous design, aggressive pricing, luxury for less. So a 21 out of 100 stops you cold. And it's the exact same trap as the Audi, a luxury EV doubling down on the newest, most unproven technology. The GV60 is loaded with features: fingerprint entry, face recognition, camera mirrors, and every single one of those is another expensive thing that can fail years down the road. This is the pattern you have to internalize before you shop. The more screens, sensors, and gimmicks a vehicle has, the more ways it can break. And this data shows exactly where that leads. Fancy is not the same as dependable, and this list keeps proving it. Number 5, the 2026 Mazda CX-90 Plug-in Hybrid. Halfway in, and here's the proof this problem isn't only electric. The CX-90 plug-in scored 20 out of 100, and a plug-in hybrid is arguably the most complicated vehicle you can buy because it has everything: a full gasoline engine and a full electric system. 2 complete powertrains bolted into one car. Twice as many parts, twice as much that can go wrong. And this is a genuinely nice SUV to drive, which makes it a trap. The driving experience seduces you while the mechanical complexity waits. If long-term reliability is your priority, a plug-in hybrid asks you to maintain 2 entire systems for the rest of the vehicle's life. The data says think hard before you sign because you're maintaining 2 powertrains, not 1. Number 4, the 2026 Chevrolet Blazer EV. This one has already made headlines, and not the good kind. A 19 out of 100, and the Blazer EV became genuinely infamous, with reports so serious that sales were paused at one point to address software problems. Owners described being stranded by charging failures and dead screens on a brand new vehicle they'd just paid full price for. This is the risk of buying a first-generation electric SUV. You are, in effect, a paying beta tester, working the bugs out of the manufacturer's software on your own dime and your own time. When the car controls everything through a screen and that screen fails, you don't have a car, you have a very expensive paperweight in the driveway. Number 3. The 2026 GMC Terrain. Now, the list takes a turn that should genuinely worry the average buyer. The Terrain scored 17 out of 100, and this is not an exotic EV or a complicated plug-in. It's a normal, everyday gas-powered compact SUV that thousands of regular families buy without a second thought. That's what makes it so important. You cannot assume that a conventional, affordable SUV is automatically a safe bet anymore. The Terrain's low score comes down to persistent issues with its transmission and electronics. The modern complexity has crept into ordinary cars too. The lesson here is blunt. Check the data on every vehicle, even the boring, sensible-looking ones your gut says are safe. Number 2. The 2026 Chevrolet Equinox. And here's why that last point matters so much. The Equinox is one of the most popular compact SUVs in the entire country, and it also scored 17 out of 100. Sit with that. One of America's best-selling family vehicles, the default choice for countless first-time buyers and young families, lands second worst on this entire list. It shares many of the same transmission and electronic weak points as its GMC cousin, which tells you the problem is baked into the platform, not one bad build. Popularity is not proof. A vehicle can sell in enormous numbers and still be near the bottom of the reliability charts, and this is the clearest example on the list. If the Equinox is on your shortlist, this is your warning to dig deeper before you buy. And now, number 1, the worst of them all, the 2026 GMC Acadia, with a rock-bottom 14 out of 100. This is the SUV I would tell my own family to avoid without hesitation. The Acadia is a mid-sized 3-row aimed squarely at families hauling kids, gear, and everything else, the people who can least afford to be stranded, and it earned the lowest score in this entire group. The complaints center on the transmission and the electrical system, two of the most expensive things on any modern vehicle to diagnose and repair. Picture the reality. You buy this for the school runs, the road trips, the daily chaos of family life, and instead you're building a relationship at the service department. At 14 out of 100, that's not bad luck. That's the pattern, and it's the one bill a growing family can least afford. So there they are, 9 SUVs the data says to approach with real caution, and 3 clear lessons underneath them. 1. A trusted badge does not guarantee a reliable car. 2. The more complex the vehicle, the more there is to break. And 3. A bestseller can still be a bad buy. Now, I need to hear from you. Have you owned any of these? And did the reliability match the score? Drop your real experience in the comments, because your first-hand miles help more people than any chart. If this saved you from an expensive mistake, hit like and subscribe, because the next breakdown might save you thousands. I'll see you in the next one.